Welcome, everyone, to Santa Fe, New Mexico, the capital of the Zia State, the championship game of the Capital Tournament, live on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube, as the Hobbs 8 Eagles play for the championship against Navajo Prep. Ty, Fred, Ron Gunner with you, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Ron, it's been 3 days of basketball. This is day number 3, and the Hobbs 8 Eagles, the number 1 team in the state in the rankings so far in the Max Preps poll and the state coaches poll, taking on the team Navajo Prep that perennially gets into the playoffs. Very tough squad from the past. Have been in some long durations of marches over the past few years, so they definitely can play some basketball. They're a couple divisions lower than the Hobbs Lady Eagles, but these two teams played for this tournament championship last year. A big win for Hobbs.
It was too, and yeah, definitely. I noticed that just the other day. We were looking at it, of course. Didn't know who they were going to play as the tournament went on. Of course, I had some hopes that Navajo Prep would, not even knowing that they had played last season. Of course, last season it was 65-27 Hobbs Eagles beating the other Eagles of Navajo Prep. So once again, it'll be an Eagles versus Eagles sort of thing. It'll be interesting to see. We've seen some interesting things from Hobbs in the first quarter where they're kind of slowing. They get started slowly, and that's okay because in the second quarter they seem to kick it into high gear, get things going, and before you know it, there is a 20, 25, even 30, and sometimes even in the mercy rule, as they've been holding their opponents to single digits for the last 8 quarters. We expect that again, possibly at least 2 quarters with this one. You never know with Navajo Prep, though. They are a good team, as you mentioned, simply because Rainey Crisp has been in there over 300 wins in her victories for her career. She has been doing great. Last season they had a great record with 26-4. They were 12-0 in district. And so all these things going on, and you know what they say, though, all those numbers from last season don't mean much to the game tonight.
Yeah, I definitely got to play the game. This is the final one of the tournament. Of course, the Hobbs 8 Eagles winning it last year and a chance to go up against Navajo Prep once again. Of course, a big win yesterday in the semifinals, 67-16, a 51-point victory. Both games that they played at this tournament have been mercy rule victories. Of course, the Lady Eagles got over the 80-point mark in game 1 with that win over Grant. So Hobbs is averaging 77 points per game at this tournament, only giving up 15.
Right.
That is definitely a lot more than what we've seen with Navajo Prep. That's 25 points more offensively and giving up 13.5 points less than Navajo Prep did in their first 2 games. And of course, teams are playing different opponents, so it's kind of hard to compare those. But still, right. 77 points a game here. Pretty big numbers for the Hobbs 8 Eagles offense.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Navajo Prep going only 56.5 points per game. So, yeah, again, though, they're not playing each other, so it doesn't really count as much. But you kind of got an idea on which offense is going to be more productive than the other one.
And if you look at the numbers against the opponent, Santa Fe Indian School, another team that goes deep in the playoffs, and we're in the last 2 state championships in the 3A division, Hobbs did get a lot of scoring opportunities. Brett Clay led the squad with 16 points. Nakaya Mojica with 12 points, and a pair of 10s from Brent Hargrove and Kendall Cunningham. Also close, Eliana Armitage had 9. So lots of people getting involved. Hobbs did not rely on the 3-point shot. They've been averaging over 7 3-pointers a game this season, including the tournament. So that kind of tells you it was a lot less than normal, but they didn't need as much. A lot of transition ball after steals as they caused 39 turnovers in that win yesterday over Santa Fe Indian School. And that's about the same numbers they saw in game 1 as well. Lots of good pressure defense. The trap, especially in the half court, 1-2-2, and some variations of that. Again, both first quarters kind of lackluster for Hobbs, and
right.
Coach Carpenter kind of got a little bit angry about that and was kind of encouraging his girls to pick up the momentum a little bit. They usually did that in the second quarter, and we saw those scores just go to inflation numbers there as the Hobbs 8 Eagles were even up by 49 the one game in this tournament.
Exactly. They got to drive the lane several times, get some easy baskets and some nice little fouls to boot. But, you know, it's going to be interesting to see whether the Hobbs Eagles are going to start off with the 3-point shots, or they're going to go ahead and drive the lane. Either way, I know they're going to be successful on this one, especially since, you know, they are very good, or they have been, except for the last game with the 3-point shots. They didn't have to have a whole lot in the 3-point shots in the last game. So it's going to be interesting to see if they mix it up again tonight.
And, of course, stellar numbers on the free throw line yesterday as well. 11 for 11, did not miss a free throw in that game. They came into the tournament at 59%. They continued to move up the charts in the 60s, and was shooting like that we saw yesterday. That's definitely going to help out the cause. Now, the team they're playing, this Navajo Prep squad, 5-1 on the season. You know, records are pretty close to what each other are at this point. So, I mean, that doesn't give you a lot of information there. They've split against 2 4A schools this year, beat Shiprock to start the season by 23. lost to Bloomfield by 26, or excuse me, a 36. So split 4A teams, beat a 1A team pretty bad by 44. On the 3A level, they defeated Colorado Montezuma out of the other state there, 64-31, and also beat West Las Vegas at this tournament, 45-25. And beat Penasco, a 2A team at the tournament, 58-33. So a lot of their wins are lopsided against smaller division teams or equal teams. They got to be careful, though. The Hobbs Lady Eagles know that there's some good scores. Cabrera Dene, she definitely shot the lights out in that first game that they won against Penasco, 58-32 here at the tournament. She definitely was stroking the three-pointers. She had 3 of them. She finished with 9 points. It was all her scoring in that game. 9 3-pointers for that Navajo prep team in that first win at the tournament. So they can shoot it from the outside. The Lady Eagles got to be careful about that. They also beat West Las Vegas yesterday. True Billy was their top scorer. She had 9 points, 2 trays. Eva Poyer, 8 points, 2 3-pointers. And Shiloh Khan, 8 points, 2 3-pointers. So they will take that perimeter shot when they get a chance to do that. Hobbs is going to have to move around quite a bit and help out to get those guards out there to put a hand in the face.
Just like always, though, you expect to see the defense coming out strong, being able to get aggressive and get those turnovers and give the offense more chances to score.
Looking at your numbers for this tournament so far, Brett Clay leads the squad with 15.5 points a game and also has a total of 10 rebounds. He has yet to shoot a free throw shot at the tournament, but hasn't needed to. She's doing a lot of transition ball and getting the ball up the court to her teammates and taking steals away one after the other against the 2 teams that they've played so far. We got the national anthem starting here. We'll take a quick break, 90 seconds. We're back live with Hobbs Lady Eagle Championship Basketball. Welcome back live to Santa Fe, the championship of the Capital Tournament. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Hobbs Lady Eagles taking on Navajo Prep. Both teams had the Eagles mascot, so we'll try to keep the one to the Hobbs Lady Eagles and just say Navajo Prep through much of this ball game. Right before the break, we were talking about point averages for the Lady Eagles at this tournament. Brett Clay, the leader, at 15.5 a game. Also, we had, great job for Nakaya Mojica. She has 12.5 a game with 13 points and 12 points in game 2. So she's definitely helping out the cause. Those two averaging in double figures, as well as Kendall Cunningham, 11.5 points a game. She's the leading rebounder currently with 11 boards, so 5.5 a contest, and is perfect from the charity stripe here at this tournament, 7 of 7 from the line. So right there, you got 3 big scores for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, but add a number 4 as coming off the bench for the Eagles, Armitage, 10.5 points for her in this tournament in the 2 games that she's played so far. So 4 in double figures scoring. Armitage is also perfect at the charity stripe, 7 for 7. So really good offensive numbers for the Hobbs Lady Eagles as we look at this this tournament so far. And looking at the numbers as a team, free throws, 85%, 23 of 27 from the line. Stellar numbers there. They're out rebounding their opponents, 51-32. Complete rebounding numbers there, so up by 19 in that category. Hobbs has only had 30 turnovers, but have taken away 75 from their 2 opponents so far, so there's a big differential there of 45 difference on those 2 numbers. I mean, of course, Coach Carpenter would like to see the 30 get reduced a little bit. And then, of course, we mentioned before, they've outscored their opponents on the average 77-15 in those 2 games combined, averaged out. So definitely things are looking good at this tournament, and they're getting some great bench support. We mentioned Armitage coming off the bench to help out the cause. Hargrove, one of their starters, she's averaging 7.5 points a game too, so she's no slouch out there as well. But that free throw shooting has been definitely a lot better than normal. 59% coming into the tournament, 85% at the tournament alone.
Exactly. Not that they've needed those free throws, but it is always good to rely on the fact that you can get those in. It's just simple memory, muscle memory, and you definitely got to get those in. And those turnovers, some of them really don't count because it was a turnover versus a turnover back again. So it's a quick turnover for Hobbs sometimes. They get it back real quickly. However, they still get counted for that turnover. So it looks bad on the stats, but it's not as bad because nobody can get those points in from those turnovers simply because Hobbs gets it back so quickly.
For Navajo Prep, True Belly is the leading average scorer here at the tournament, 15 points per game. Behind her, they've got Anaya Johnson with 8 a game and Shiloh Khan 7. Now, these players like to spread out the scoring for Navajo Prep. In fact, their win that they had against West Las Vegas, nobody in double figures. You mentioned Billy with 9, Poyer with 8, and Khan with 8. But that first game against Penasco, big breakout game for True Billy. She scored 21 points in that victory. So they are 2-0 at the tournament, just like the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Ready for the action to start? As Jayla David will step up against the other Eagle, and it's tipped into the front court quickly, over down to the right block, and there's Brett Clay with an easy push shot over the right side of the iron off the glass. Hobbs up quickly, 2-0 here early in the first quarter. And they contend the inbound, knock it off the leg and out of bounds of the Navajo Prep squad. It will be, who are they going to give this ball to? It's going to be Hobbs basketball, left corner. Mojica gets it into the left wing. As Hargrove will dribble up top, drives to the left side of the lane, gets hammers. He tries to put up a short J about midway down the lane on the left side of the paint. Already a first foul in this ball game, and that's going to go against number 35 for Navajo Prep.
Yeah, as we said early on, it would be a fast start for Hobbs, and they did it.
First free throw is going to be off the rim, no good. And he said 35, he meant 34. That's a Shiloh Khan, her first personal. Missed the first free throw for the Lady Eagles, so getting one more opportunity here will be Bryn Hargrove after getting fouled on the J. Second shot, bounces around the rim and good. 1 for 2 on the line is Hargrove. 3-0, Eagles up early. 7:45 left first quarter. The inbound in the paint, dribbling around looking for help is Billy. Throws it across the timeline, far left. The ball's tipped out to Cassidy Jones, and a jump stop. Sends it down in the left corner. This team will shoot trays. Keep it left side to Johnson and back deep to the timeline to reset to Cassidy Jones. Stop and go dribble against Mojica. Slides back to the left side, getting a screen from Johnson. Kicks it back to Johnson. Top of the circle, comes around the right side of the perimeter. Going to go with the reverse slap, hits the bottom of the backboard, but tipped back up and in on the right glass. Coming at the rim quickly was Cassidy Jones, her first bucket and first rebound of the ball game. It's 3-2. Lady Eagles get a trap coming across the timeline on the left wing. Brett Clay goes down low, going up strong with 2 hands. Jayla David off the left glass and scores. So David now with 2 points, already 3 scores for the Lady Eagles, lead 5-2. And an inbound to the far left sideline in the backcourt, sails off the hands of True Billy. I'm going to see if they're going to say the Lady Eagles might have touched it. Nope, they're going to give it back to Hobbs. So a couple of turnovers so far for Navajo Prep.
Yeah, and Hobbs so far taking advantage of those turnovers as they always do.
2 so far again for Navajo Prep. Hargrove with the basketball, top of the circle after the inbound. Sends it over to Clay on the right wing. Gets some tough pressure though. Out on top of her that time was Eva Poyer. Or actually, that's Harmony Boone. Back to Hargrove, top of the circle, sends it left side to Mojica. Trying to move this matchup zone, gets the ball tipped out from behind. Nice D by Billy, picked up in the lane by the reverse layup by Cunningham. Nice spin in the paint underneath the right side of the rim and puts it down for 2. Cunningham now with 2 points. Some passing going on in the backcourt now and dribbling across the timeline up the middle for Navajo Prep. Anaya Johnson gives it off to the left wing. The pass back deep to Khan. Guarded by Mojica, gets a piece of the pass as it gets deflected back to the timeline right side to Harmony Boone. Falls to the floor, able to unload right next to her to Ford. And the defense is really extending for Lady Eagles. Back to the timeline to Boone, guarded again by Mojica. Crossover move, picked up by Hargrove. Gets a piece of the basketball as it's picked up by Mojica. Sent ahead back to Hargrove with an easy layup on the right side. 3 points for Brent Hargrove. That's already the 3rd turnover for Navajo Prep. And Coach Rainey Chris wants to talk to his team. 5:59 remaining in the first. The Hobbs Lady Eagles already up 9-2. We'll keep it right here in Santa Fe. And Ron, defense equals offense for the Hobbs Lady Eagles.
And unlike the last two games, Hobbs has started off early and quick, and there is no mistake in the fact that they want to win this game. And they are very much confusing this Navajo prep team, and that's the reason why they had to stop this. Rainey Crisp understands, knows this game very well, sees that her girls are struggling, and she's going to get them back on the same page.
Last year, Hobbs winning 65-27 in this championship game, had 23 steals in that game. A lot of scores in that game, including Brent Hargrove had 17 points, 4 3-pointers in that win. Kendall Cunningham added 11, and Brett Clay with 11. Hobbs was actually down early, 12-9 in the first quarter, but had a 25-0 run in quarter number 2 and to put that game away. Long pass to the other end, reverse layup on the left side and scoring long. Navajo Prep, as Anaya Johnson puts it through, is fouled going up, count the basket off the glass, and they'll get the foul on the Lady Eagles. Kendall Cunningham, her first team foul against Hobbs. Chance for a 3-point play for Johnson to try to get this down to a 4-point deficit for Navajo Prep. Free throw hard off the back of the rim, though, and chased down the right block. David gets a double team the minute she brings it down, able to unload it, and gets it up court to the guard for the Lady Eagles, Hargrove. Comes across, top of the circle with the lefty dribble. On the perimeter, up top, Mojica going to come down the paint with the drive herself, kick it down to Cunningham left corner, some tough pressure. Cross court right, Clay coming down the lane, leans and shoots at the runner shot and scores over the front of the rim. Brett Clay with 2 buckets here in the first quarter, 11-4. Hobbs Lady Eagles' biggest lead is 7. Pressure traps are going on in the backcourt. Ball gets in the hands of the far sideline to Johnson. Will dribble across, but then is tipped out from behind, taken away by Hargrove for turner number 4. Hargrove in the front court, top of the circle, comes down the lane herself, all the way to the rack with a penetration, finger roll over the front of the rim and scores. Hargrove, the one-man wrecking crew right now. She's got 5 points. Score now 13-4. The biggest lead is 9 for the Lady Eagles here in the first. Ball gets across to Johnson. Cross the room to her left hand, underneath the hoop, scoop shot high, up the left glass, no good. Put back up on the semi-hook over the right side of the rim. Good rebound and a putback there, as the bucket is good for Maureen Ford. 13-6, the Eagles get it quickly to the other end. On the left side, Clay gonna drive the lane. She tries a reverse layup right side, gets the ball smashed from behind and then come down on her shoulder on a foul. As slapping from behind for Navajo Prep was Maureen Ford. That'll be her first personal, first team foul. You do not give Brett Clay a first step to the rack. She's going to go home with it.
Exactly. No matter what you do, you can't. It's hard to defend her because she's so strong and so willing to give her body up for that extra point.
First free throw is up and good. Clay has just shot her first free throw of this tournament, but averaging 15.5 points, the most for the Hobbs Lady Eagles in 2 games. So that tells you she doesn't need the freebie. She's going to get it the hard way, but here she's going to get some free throws in this championship game.
Exactly, and she's not going to be unhappy about that.
As she puts both of them through the hole. 2 points added to Clay. She's got 6. The inbound again contested for the Lady Eagles, knocked out by Mojica. Just causing fits to Navajo Prep. The trap going on right now. 1-2. They kind of modifying it. 1-2-1-1. Half court inbound and taken away high in the air by Cunningham for turn number 5 for Navajo Prep. Pass to the right corner to Hargrove, up top to Clay. She'll send it down the left corner to Mojica, posting up David on the left block. Back up top to Clay, quick pass to Hargrove, fake to Trey right side, no look pass left corner. Mojica with the rainbow 3 and put it through the hole. Nakaya Mojica drills it for the first tray of the game for the Lady Eagles. Her first points, 5 scores so far, 18-6. The biggest lead now 12 in this championship game of the Capital Tournament. Bad pass up ahead to the other side of the paint. And then we got a run now for Jayla David in transition. 6 turnovers for Navajo Prep. The pass to Hargrove and a 3 on the way uncontested as she puts it through the threads. Count the tray. Hargrove with her first tray of the game. She's got 8 points. She was a team leader last year in the championship. A steal on the inbound of the backcourt, laying it up and in is Mojica once again to score. Mojica now with 5 points and 7 turnovers for Navajo Prep. That does not win championships. They have to call the timeout.
Exactly, they did. Once again, they are just looking befuddled, confused, and you know what? That happens so often against this Hobbs Eagles offense as well as the defense. They control both sides of the ball, and they can also do it quickly.
17-point lead, 23-6 Hobbs. We'll take a 30-second break here at the Capital Championship in Santa Fe. Stay with us. 23-6, your Hobbs Lady Eagles lead in the Capital Tournament Championship game against Navajo Prep, a rematch from last year's game that the Hobbs Lady Eagles won handily, and 65-27, winning by 38 points. A mercy rule scoring in that situation. The clock did run late in the contest. That was a game that the Hobbs Lady Eagles shot 47% from the field, held Navajo Prep to 25%, Hobbs at 33% from three-point range, and it was Navajo Prep just at 9%. So definitely in control of that contest last year. Hobbs trying to make it 2 in a row. And again, the trap pressure in the backcourt. Ball loose on the near sideline. Stolen away for the Lady Eagles off the sub. Caitlin Munoz, but she lost the ball coming down the lane. So trading turnovers for both teams. 8 for Navajo Prep and 1 for the Lady Eagles. Prep basketball. They get into the front court, down to the right corner. The jab step for True Billy. She gets to the right block to Johnson. Dribbles in the lane, kicks out left corner. An air ball being shot by McGarry, and rebound for the Lady Eagles. Diving on the floor for it, Caitlin Munoz. Outlet to the timeline, coming across is Armitage, who just checked in. Sends it to the right wing, gets it back. She'll shoot up a 3 from the right corner, and nothing but net. Right off the bench quickly, Armitage has been dominant in that 6-man role. 26-6, Hobbs with their biggest lead now at 20 over Navajo Prep. In the front court, Johnson will hand it off on the left wing. They've got some subs in here as well. Bounce pass back to the timeline to Jones. She wants to clear out, top of the circle. Is going to get picked up by Zepeda to the near sideline and slides back to the left off the dribble. A screen applied by McGarry. Hand off to Johnson, left wing. Cross court right. Driving to the right base is Billy. She'll return it back to Johnson, top of the circle. 2-3 zone for the Lady Eagles. To the left elbow off the dribble. Gets tripped. Armitage stepped out and kind of threw a knee out in front of her there and knocked her to the floor. They're going to call the foul. Actually going to say Zepeda with the hold first, and then it was a little knee action for Armitage.
Yeah, and in any case, one goof, but you know what? It's not going to slow this Eagles down, Hobbs Eagles down, team down.
2 fouls for the Hobbs Lady Eagles at this point, 1 for Zepeda and 1 for Cunningham. Long inbound to the back to the timeline to True Billy. Takes on Zepeda to the left side of the arc. Bounce pass, a long shot down to the left corner. Could not get it, was Harrison. She saw that it was going to be a roller and just tried to sprint out there, but too late. That's the 9th Navajo Prep turnover. 2:29 remaining and ticking here in the first. 26-6 Hobbs by 20. Coming across the timeline, Armitage to the right corner baseline, and got a nice tip out from behind defensively by True Billy. It rolls out to the baseline right. It'll be Hobbs basketball. Sub coming back in for Navajo Prep, True Billy, or correction, that is Cameron Dale. Hobbs basketball right baseline. Zepeda to chuck it back deep up top. And now to the left wing, driving is Size. Armitage picks up the ball on the handoff on the left corner, tries to go baseline with it off the dribble, gets hammered hard with the knee. As sliding into the baseline area on the left side, they get the foul call. They'll charge that one to Anaya Johnson, her first, second team foul against Navajo Prep. We aren't going to be saying their mascot too much because they are the Lady Eagles as well, just like Hobbs. Zepeda inbound, back deep again, up top of the arc to Armitage, back to Zepeda in the left corner. Returns to Armitage left wing, and she'll just back it out. Now it's going to be a Navajo Prep 2-3 zone. One-hand pass over the right wing. And waiting on it for just a second was Munoz. Throws it inside, gets it back. Throws up a 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Johnson with the rebound. She'll get the outlet pass, her first board. Up ahead to a breaking guard. That's True Billy going to the rack with it, but she's got the ball knocked out from behind. Zepeda punches it to the baseline to stop an easy layup. It will be Navajo Prep basketball on the right baseline with 1:53 left first quarter. They trail by 20 to Hobbs. Inbound is thrown in by Billy, gets it back right corner, fires up a 3, and the first tray of the game for Navajo Prep. They had 9 in their first win over Penasco on Thursday. 26-9 your score, 1:40 left in the first. Hobbs up big, still by 17. Into the front court on the right wing is Munoz. Back deep to Zepeda, again to Munoz. Takes a one dribble, bounce pass right side to Sice for 3, in and out, no good. On the left block is Johnson, picking up her second rebound. Falls to the floor, it's rolling towards the sideline on the left side. She picks it up herself and unloads to the half court to McGarry. To the right wing, 3 on the way for Billy. It comes off the iron this time. Couldn't get it to drop for the second shot in a row. And getting it on the far right sideline is Armitage on the dribble quickly into the front quarter, first rebound. Comes down the left side of the lane, gets pushed in the back from behind. Ball rolls out on the baseline left, but they're going to call the foul. And that'll be charged to Navajo Prep's Layla McGarry, her first, third team foul, and now a whole 5 returning to starters for the Hobbs Lady Eagles run.
Yeah, it looked like Armitage was going to go coast to coast on that one, but got shoved, and unfortunately wasn't able to even get a shot attempt. So, yeah, it was a nice try, but she ended up having to go out simply because of a sub.
Coach Carpenter doing a lot of platoon subbing the last couple of days. Inbound to Cunningham, left block. Get out to the left corner, Mojica. Up top to Hargrove. One bounce pass over the corner. Fadeaway three off the back of the rim. As unable to get that to drop for the Lady Eagles was Clay, but underneath the hoop, we got a nice little pivot as coming up with it was Cunningham and tried to go back up with it, and they called the foul. As they'll get that one against Navajo Prep's Cambria Dene, her first, 14 foul, no, that's the fifth. That'll be double bonus the rest of the quarter, although just 56 seconds left in it. Cunningham will step up for the free throw. First shot is up, and it is good. Definitely great shooting job for the Lady Eagles at this tournament as she makes the first.
Yeah, the great thing is always about the Hobbs Eagles is you can never tell who's on, whether it be the bench or the starting players. They all seem to play with that same intensity.
She'll get one more. Shot is up and good. Got both of them. Cunningham with 2 for 2 free throws, shooting has 4 points, 28-9. 19-point lead. The deflection on the ball at the half court. Jayla David picks it up, goes back door, and going to the hoop with a layup for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Bryn Hargrove's had a great first quarter. That's a 10th Navajo Prep turnover. 30-9, a 21-point Lady Eagle lead, their biggest of the game. Transition game. Now they're going to slow it down in the front court. Navajo Prep on the near sideline with the basketball. Cassidy Jones gets it inside. A hook shot being administered by Cameron Dale off the back of the rim. No good. Cunningham with the rebound. Her second of the ball game. Sends it ahead, right corner to Mojica for three off the front of the rim. Loose, and Cunningham comes up with it. Top of the arc. Takes a couple of dribbles. Finds Hargrove in the left corner. Her three comes off the iron. And in the paint for the pull down for Navajo Prep on the boards, Dale. Dale's going to bounce it. Middle of the court with 10 seconds left in the first. She'll throw it back deep and then get it back on the front court, right side. Touch pass right corner to Dane. Back deep to the top of the arc to Johnson. She'll throw up a WNBA three right before the buzzer, but it falls short of the rim. So your Hobbs Lady Eagles up big at the end of one, 30-9 over Navajo Prep. Championship game of the Capital Tournament in Santa Fe. We'll come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagles Network. Well, one thing is even here at the championship game of the Capital Tournament. The Hobbs Lady Eagles and Navajo Prep both have 6 rebounds apiece, but the scoreboard another factor, Ron. 30-9 as Hobbs leads by 21 heading to the second quarter.
Yeah, and we were thinking that this could happen, but you never know for sure until it does.
Top score for Hobbs, 10 for Bryn Hargrove, 6 for Brett Clay. They're the leaders. And for Navajo Prep, it's 3 for True Billy. Navajo Prep basketball to start the second. On the right wing is Johnson. Slides with the dribble at the top of the arc against a 2-3 Hobbs zone. Kicks out right wing to Jones. Jones will back it out to the timeline. Stop and go. Bounce pass to the right corner. Johnson with a three and swishes it. Anaya Johnson's her post player. She's 5'10", now has 5 points. That will be the second try of the game for Navajo Prep, now 30-12. Hobbs up by 18. Cunningham fakes a three at the other end, left corner after a pass. Down low to David. Fadeaway Jay in the paint off the back of the rim off the spin. And a long rebound for Johnson. She's in transition, her third rebound. Gets the ball knocked out of her hands, recovers it, and hands off in front court to Kahn. Back to the timeline to Jones on the near side as she's picked up by Hargrove to the right wing. Stop and go dribble, right block, gives him a shot, a hippity hop. Off the left rim, no good. Rebound for the Lady Eagles. Pulled down by Brett Clay. Goes into the timeline to Hargrove, near side left. To the left block, leans and shoots off the side glass, no good. Johnson underneath the hoop to rip it down again for Navajo Prep, and a quick foul call against the Lady Eagles as they'll call that one against Brett Clay, her first. First team foul here in the second half, but Johnson starting to do a good job of the boards for Navajo Prep. She's got 4 rebounds, Ron.
Yeah, and they have to have at least one shining star so far in this early part of the game.
3-3-pointers for Hobbs so far, 2 for Navajo Prep, and we got a violation on the baseline going to be called against Navajo Prep. So Hobbs will get it back. That is the 11th turnover for the Navajo Prep Lady Eagles. On the left baseline, the alley-oop, Mohican in the lane. Cunningham comes down with it, goes back up with 2 hands and flips it off the glass right in the middle of the square and puts it through the hole as well. Cunningham with 6 points. 32-12, a 20-point lead once again. Ball comes across the timeline with the pass to Kahn. Comes underneath 2 defenders with a scoop shot rejected by Cunningham. They squeezed her tough on the right block. Boy, imagine trying to go through Cunningham and David, and that's exactly what Kahn did and had the ball slapped right to the baseline.
Yeah, not an easy job, and she tried it, of course, did not work.
On the right base, Maureen Forty inbound underneath the Navajo Prep baseline, inbound to the right wing to Dale. Passes it out to a deep left wing and backing it out towards the timeline now. Stop and go dribble for Jones. Top of the arc. No look pass on the bounce in the middle of the paint to Ford. Hook shot's rejected going to the left side by Cunningham. She'll pick up the dribble now in the front court. Unloads to Hargrove on the right wing. No look pass in the lane to David on 3 defenders. Turn around Jay out the right class. Actually, that was Clay. David gets a rebound with a fadeaway. Can't get it to drop. Her second. Picked up by Mohiku, who fires a 3 in the left corner. Her shot no good, and picked up by Cunningham on the right wing. Everybody doing a lot of rebounding. Gives it back to Hargrove in the left wing, and she fires a 3 and put it through the hole. So lots of balls moving around the perimeter for the Lady Eagles off rebounds. Hargrove with 13 points and 2 trays. 35-12, a long pass to the other end, and Johnson missing the layup, but she got hurt. A slap from behind, a foul called on the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, you give the Eagles, Hobbs Eagles, 6 or all those chances, like 6 extra times. You know, bound to be that one of them's going to drop, and it finally did. And it was a 3-point shot, so it counted for a little extra.
I don't think they called a foul on that one. They go ahead and get it in the inside of the lane, and a shot on the way and good as putting it through over the front of the rim, Cameron Dale. 35-14, a 21-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Their biggest has been 23 in this ball game in the first, or now in the second quarter. In the front court, left wing. For Hobbs is Moniz, gives it over to left corner. Armitage with a 3 off the front of the rim. It's no good. Another rebound for Johnson for Navajo Prep, her 5th. Bounce pass in the backcourt to dribble across is Cassidy Jones. Going to take on the defense of Zepeda. Getting a screen on the right side from Johnson. And Armitage steps in and just knocks the ball away. Nice double team action there. And now backpedals right into the chest of Coach Joey Carpenter on the near sideline in front of the bench.
Looked like Cassidy Jones got away with a little bit of an elbow on there, but still. Yeah, there's a little frustration going on for the Navajo Prep Eagles.
Armitage looked like she was blocking out Coach Carpenter there on that sideline, and he kind of came up hunched over after that play. Ball comes over to left wing to Jones on the inbound. They're going to call the reach foul. Tried to pass it to the free throw line to try to connect with McGarry that time, but they're going to say Hobbs got a little bit too extracurricular on that one. They call that against Elena Bolton, who has been in here for a couple of minutes now. That's her first, and the second team foul on the Lady Eagles. Inbound to the backcourt deep to Shiloh Khan. Going against Armitage. Boy, a moving screen was applied. No call, McGarry. Ball's loose. Armitage steals, throws it ahead. That's the 12th turnover for Navajo Prep. Gets it down to the left corner to her teammate, Munoz. Tried to get it back to Armitage, but sails out of bounds on the near sideline. She tried to throw it backwards that time, and an errant pass knocked out. That's second turnover for the Lady Eagles compared to 12 for Navajo Prep.
Yeah, that pass went straight to the coach, but unfortunately he could not do anything with it.
Half-court inbound, or just across half-court. Trying to get it in is McGarry. Coming back to get it, Kahn. Now back to the timeline. A new sub has just checked in as they get the ball to Poirier. Poirier sends it to the left wing to Harrison. Bounce pass to the free throw line to McGarry. To the right wing, as thought about a shot, did Kahn, decided against it. Bounce pass right corner to Boyer, and she lost the ball on the turf, or on the hardwood. It's taken away from the Lady Eagles by Munoz. Another turnover, number 13. Sends it ahead to Zepeda underneath the hoop at the other end. Kicks out right, and there's a 3 on the way and good. Drilling it through the hole wide open that time. Carolina Seiss, her first tray of the ball game, and 3 points for her, 38-14. Hobbs' biggest lead now is 24. 4:15 left in the half. Bounce pass in the backcourt to Leah Harrison. She comes across, getting some tough pressure by Seiss. To the timeline, to McGarry. Throws it to the right corner. Holding the ball for a second is Kahn. Bounce pass down in the right corner to Dale. Throws up a rainbow 3 air ball. Rebound on the left block by Harrison. Tries to go back up, off the iron, no good. Chased down by Armitage on the left side. She'll take a dribble up the court. Armitage with her second rebound. Crossover move to the right elbow. One hands it over to the right corner to Zepeda. Up top to a wide open Seiss for a tray again. This one out the front of the rim. And a pull down in the left block for Navajo Prep. by Layla McGarry, her first rebound. Sends it ahead to a breaking Poyer on the far sideline. Goes baseline with the runner and swishes it through. So coming off the bench for her first bucket is Poyer. She's got 2 points. 38-16. Hobbs still by 22. 3:25 remaining in the second. Armitage in the front court to Sy. She's going to put up a high 3. Clinks off the rim, though. No good. And in transition off the dribble, off the rebound, Dale now. Sends it down to the left corner to Poyer. In the corner. Left side. Returns to Dale on the left wing. Trying to post up in the paint, and the ball is stolen away by Bolton. She'll send it ahead. That's the 14th Navajo Prep turnover. Zapata goes to the rack, lefty layup, misses. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, and it looked like Armitage trying to come over the back to get the rebound and tipped it out by accident. So that will go back to Navajo Prep, and there goes Coach Carpenter, another platoon subbing situation. 5 starters back on the court, Ron.
Yeah, keeping those legs fresh. Not that he needs it, but still, like I said, you can never tell which side is on, the bench or the starters.
Hobbs going with a 2-2-1 trap in the half court now. On the baseline trying to get it in is Billy. Throws a high one over to the far sideline right, stolen away by Brett Clay for turnover number 15. Gives it off to Hargrove right wing, back up top to Clay, send it left corner to Mojica with a jab step, trying to move that 2-3 zone. To Clay at the top of the arc, crossover to her left hand, returns Mojica left baseline, double team on her, underneath the hoop off the dribble, to David just ahead of the free throw line, fade away Jay, it dribbles around and falls through for 2. Kayla David puts it home, she's got 4 points, 40-16. Lady Eagles up by 24 to match her biggest lead of the first half. 2:30 remaining in the second. Johnson with the basketball, right wing, drives the paint, tries to throw it over to the left side of the perimeter. It sails out of bounds. Clay got a piece of it, but the pass was intended for Billy. It will still be Navajo Prep basketball. Inbounding is Boone. Gets it in to Jones on the left wing. Cross court right to Billy. Billy will kick it up top. A jab step being applied here by Jones. Jones back to the top of the circle, fires a 3 against that 2-3 zone, no good. Johnson on the right block, goes back up with an air ball, her 6th rebound, and taken down for the Lady Eagles on the far right sideline by Clay, her 2nd. Throws it ahead to a breaking Mojica, toilet bowls the layup, and it finally flushes through for 2. Mojica with 7 points, 42-16, the biggest lead now 26 here in the second. 1:50 left in the half. And a ball pass to the knee of the Navajo Prep player just across the timeline. It went off Jones out of bounds, and again, another turnover, number 16.
Yeah, they just cannot handle the ball at certain times, especially with that. That would seem to be uncontested and a turnover.
Just remember, 75 turnovers for 2 opponents up until this game, and add another 16 now in this contest. They'll post up in the front court on the left side. Cunningham gives it off free throw line to David, to the right wing to Clay, up top to Hargrove, back over to Mojica left corner, and guess what? There's another tray in the books as Nakaya Mojica drills it through. Mojica has 2 trays and 11 points now, double digits, 2 in double digits. Mojica with 11 and 13 for Hargrove. 45-16, a 29-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. 1:10 remaining in the half. Top of the arc is Jones. Stop and go dribble. She gets a screen up top from Dale. Comes to the right wing. Bounce pass up top is stolen away by Hargrove. Another turnover. 17. She'll go to the rack with a scoop roll and gets over the right side for 2.
Uncontested.
15 for Hargrove to lead the Lady Eagles. And we got a deflection on the inbound. It'll go out of bounds in front of the, no, they call the foul on the Hobbs Lady Eagles for a reach. As they'll charge that one to Jayla David, her first, 3rd team foul against the Lady Eagles. And they're getting ready to set up that trap once again. 2 defenders in the backcourt. Mojica and Hargrove. A long ball into the front side to Dale. She'll spot up a 3 from the right wing. Hits out the bottom of the left backboard that time. And an easy rebound for Cunningham, her 5th. Sends it down to Mojica right corner to the right block. And pivoting around is Clay. Gives it back to Mojica right corner for a fadeaway 3. No good. Cunningham tries to go back up with a little semi-hook after her 6th rebound. Can't get it to drop. And a long rebound coming for the Navajo Prep in the hands of Dale. Dale gets it ahead to the left wing. Driving to baseline is Boone. Boone gets double team, falls to the floor. Cunningham gets a steal. That'll be turnover number 18. Throws it ahead to David. She back passes it to the right wing, and there's Hargrove for a tray out the front of the rim. No good. Johnson underneath the hoop for Navajo Prep to pull it down for her 7th rebound. Sends it ahead to Dale in the right wing. She wants a 3. This one off the rim. And David with the rebound in the right corner. David now with 3 boards. Up ahead to Clay, who gets stripped to the top of the arc in the front court. Nice handle by Dale. That's Hobbs' 3rd turnover. Pass to the left wing. A 3 on the way. Off the back of the rim at the buzzer. No good for True Billy. So your Hobbs Eagles up by 31 points, their biggest lead of this game in the first half, 47-16 over Navajo Prep. You're listening live to the Capital Tournament Championship, Lady Eagles action in Santa Fe. We'll be back in 3 minutes for the Hobbs Lady Eagles halftime show, live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the internet and on the radio at the Eagle 100.5. Welcome back to halftime here at the Capital High School Gym in Santa Fe. Capital Tournament Championship game for the Lady Eagles as they lead big over Navajo Prep 47-16, up by 31 at the half. Of course, last year Hobbs pretty big win as well, 65-27, winning by 38 points. We're getting kind of close to those numbers right now. Hobbs coming back, not yet at the mercy roll, Ron, but just 4 points away from that starting to kick in.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to hear from Coach Carpenter. He's always talking about, good things. He says great things about the team. He also says this, that points don't matter to him. He really doesn't care what they do as long as they get it out there and do their best. Of course, he's always out there. The other thing also is this. He has no seniors to rely on. He has, until next year anyway, but he has no seniors to rely on. You would think that, watching this team, there has to be at least 3 or 4 seniors out there that are playing so well with such experience. But no, that is just Coach Carpenter's way of managing the team, getting the kids coming in there, learning early, and then being able to, of course, adjust to the way that Carpenter wants to play. And, it just looks like it's seamless. Every year it gets a little bit better, and that's the reason why his worst season for the Hobbs Eagles has been 8 losses, and that's only because they had to adjust to an injury or two and got back on track as quickly as possible.
Yeah, he talked to us yesterday in the post-game show, said he took some resistance trying to bring up 8th graders and freshmen a couple years into his tenure here with the Hobbs Lady Eagle program, but it did happen. Got some players advancing throughout the a couple of years of playing basketball with the program, and of course some state championships under his belt, both in Roswell and Hobbs. And here we are, another tournament championship here in Santa Fe. Let's look at the numbers in the first half. Again, Hobbs up 47-16 over Navajo Prep. Prep not even close to anybody in double digits yet. Anaya Johnson, the post player, has 5 points. She did get a tray as well and was 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. She's the only player that's had a free throw for Navajo Prep, and that's been kind of a trend at this tournament. Not a lot of opportunities to get the offense set up, especially with the pressure, trap pressure we've been seeing in the half court for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Big drop off after her. True Billy hit a 3 for her only points at 3 points. Cameron Dale had 2. Eva Poyer with 2. Jones and Ford both getting 2 apiece as well. They've had 6 scores. Again, 0 for 1 from the free throw line, and have had a total of 15 rebounds. Actually, the same amount of rebounds as the Hobbs Lady Eagles, so that's the only category that's been even. Both of them were at 6 in the first quarter, but after that, it's been all stats for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. The biggest problem with Navajo Prep so far, besides the scoreboard, is the turnovers, Ron. 18 so far. Hobbs continues just to kind of turn the screws. In those first 2 games, they caused 75 turnovers, which is what, you're talking about 32 and a half turnovers a ball game,
right.
Over the 30 mark. And right now, it's up to that 18 mark. So not looking too good for Navajo Prep. And how do you, as a coach, Rainey Chris, what are you telling your team besides just don't turn the ball over? How do you beat the trap pressure we're seeing in the half court?
I'm sure she's telling them, she's got full experience, so she would be saying something like, keep your cool. You know you can play this game. We've got records. We know we can do it. All we have to do is just maintain, be able to get some better passes, maintain as far as getting the passes. When you get the pass to you, make sure you can corral it. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time trying to get the pass to you when you have such an excellent pass and you miss the ball. And the next thing you know, you turn it over once again. So limit the turnovers, be able to get some great shots in, and try to get some fouls coming in, because they have not gotten any fouls as far as I can tell, and they have not been able to get on the line. So that does help. Try to get any kind of help as far as offense you can.
Yeah, a lot of these inbounds passes in the backcourt have been coming in the corners, which is like blood in the water for the Hobbs Lady Eagles shark defense. You got people like Brett Clay and Armitage coming off the bench, just swarming at you. When Zepeda comes off the bench, she's doing the same. Hargrove has had a couple of steals out there as well, and then they're getting up the transition game. So, those passes in those deep corners of the backcourt are killing Navajo Prep, and then sometimes they try to drive up the sideline, and that's the worst thing you do against a trap is keep the ball on the sideline, right, where you can get 2 defenders out there, and then they use the sideline as a 3rd defender because you can't step out of bounds trying to dribble around them. So, I mean, it's just like, adding insult to injury. So that's the issue at this point. So currently 18 turnovers, not looking good for Navajo Prep. Hobbs Lady Eagles already have 2 in double figures. Brent Hargrove, due to a lot of defense and transition, also some trays. She's got 2 from the outside, 15 points, and 1 for 2 on the charity stripe for the Lady Eagles. Also in double digits, Nakaya Mojica, she's hit 2 trays herself, has 10 points. So Hargrove and Mojica combining for 25 of the Hobbs Lady Eagles, 47 points, more than half of the scoring so far. A pair of 6s for Hobbs. Brett Clay with a 6. She had a couple of buckets and 2 for 2 free throw shooting. In fact, those were her first 2 free throws here at the Capital Tournament in the last 3 days. Kendall Cunningham has 6 points, 2 for 2 on the line as well, and she has 6 rebounds to lead the Hobbs Lady Eagles. It was Jayla David in the first half with 4 points and 3 rebounds. Aliana Armitage ended up with a tray for 3, and also Carolina Seiss had a 3-point shot for 3. So Hobbs right now with 7 scores in the books, and Ron, they've converted on 6 3-pointers so far. We only saw 2 go down yesterday, but I guess, it's still a blowout at this point,
right.
But what's the difference with yesterday and today? Why all of a sudden we getting the perimeter shots?
It could be the simple fact that maybe they weren't getting the looks, although I have seen a couple of shots that just were a quick, catch and release. But I think they're just basically I think they saw the lane was opening up more yesterday as compared to today. They're also getting less hands in the face around the perimeter. Maybe we'll see that more in the second half. So maybe that was the thing, that they weren't getting any opposition, so they went ahead and said, you know what, we're not getting the opposition, might as well shoot the 3 and see what happens, and they've been more successful than not.
So yeah, once again, 6 3-pointers for Hobbs Lady Eagles. They are 5 of 6 from the charity stripe for 83% on that line, and again, just 3 turnovers compared to 18 for Navajo Prep, so that's going to keep you in a good position to get a championship. Hobbs was up 30-9 at the end of 1 and outscored Navajo Prep 17-7 in the second quarter. So we're getting ready for our second half action. Take our last break. 47-16, Hobbs over Navajo Prep. Come back with us in half a minute. We're ready for third quarter action to add insult to injury. Hobbs Lady Eagles basketball, at least for the Navajo Prep Lady Eagles, who trail by 31. Hobbs will bring it across the timeline. Give it off to Mojica on the right wing. Back deep to Hargrove, top of the circle. Slides left with the dribble, guarded closely by Jones. Gives it over to Brett Clay on the left elbow. Kick it back left side. Faking a three as Hargrove finds Clay again in the paint. Gets double teamed. Tries to go back door. Kind of a close try to pass there to David on the left block and almost took her head off. Sails out of bounds. That'll only be the fourth turnover of this contest for the Lady Eagles. Still leading by 31. We're just 4 points away from the mercy roll. That trap continues. 2-1-2, half court, as the dribble starts off for Jones. Throws it across the timeline to the right wing to Ford. Ford will kick it back deep to Jones. She'll back it out, call the 5 play. No look pass to the left side to Kahn. Fires up a 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Cunningham underneath the rim for her 7th rebound, and is going to give it off to Mojica, top of the circle. Up ahead to Clay. One-on-one to the rack. Tries to lead and shoot towards the right side. It gets rejected. Johnson stayed flat-footed, put her hands straight up in the air and connected on the leather. And you saw that Brett Clay tried to put her shoulder down and just kind of forced that ball at the block shot there. Thought maybe got some body on that, but no call on that. It's just going to be a clean block they're going to call.
That was a clean defensive play.
And then Clay tries to make her pay for it, gets the inbound on the left block, goes up strong, and right over the top of her back, a chop shot coming from Navajo Prep from Shiloh Kahn. So she'll pick up the foul. The ball didn't drop in the hole, but it'll put her on the line. So Brett Clay gets a chance to shoot some free throws. Clay in this game, 2 for 2, and this one bounced around the rim and good. Hobbs was 5 of 6 in the first half for 83%, now 6 of 7. Hobbs was shooting 85% in the first 2 games as a team against their 2 opponents earlier, Thursday and Friday. Second shot up and good for Clay. Clay now with 8 points. It's 49-16, 33-point lead. That's the best of the game, and 1 bucket away, at least a 2-point bucket from the mercy rule clock. Deflected on the pass on the near side. It's going to be Navajo Prep basketball. Mojica is really challenging the offense for Navajo Prep. They're going to inbound it to the deep right corner from the left side of the court. And now they're going to pass it back to the left side to Johnson. She's in the front court, bounce it back door, and the layup on the way. Missing a shot put is Billy, but put back in the end by Johnson, who's been getting a lot of boards. She's got 7 points now and 8 rebounds to lead Navajo Prep. 49-18. Hobbs still up by 31. Mojica in the front court to move the 2-1-2 zone. Over to Hargrove, left wing, gets it back. Mojica does on the left perimeter. Get it into David, the middle of the free throw line. Back to Hargrove, open for a 3 in the left corner, and nothing but net. You cannot let those shooting guards move around the perimeter and just kind of lull yourself to sleep. As Hargrove with 18 points, she's got 3 trays. That's the 7th three-pointer for the Lady Eagles. The pass sails to the left baseline, out of bounds for Navajo Prep, as they've just picked up their 19th turnover run. Again, adding salt to the wound.
I know. Billy tried to save it out of bounds, and instead it goes out of bounds on another way. So, yeah, there's not enough support. They cannot get there fast enough to get the ball from those turnovers from happening.
Looks like Navajo Prep's going to go with the 1-3-1 zone in the half-court look now. Clay will give it off to the top of the arc to make it backdoor pass. So Cunningham caught it first, and then she sailed it down the lane to Mojica to lay it in for 2. So Mojica now with 12 points as Johnson will come across the timeline. Into the front court, top of the arc, slings it back to Cassidy Jones. Jones comes right with the dribble on the perimeter, uses it up. Chest pass to the free throw line to Ford. Hand off behind her. On a fadeaway now, shot on the dribble from Jones and gets rejected by Cunningham. Cunningham will bring it across the timeline. Finds Clay on the right wing, drives the paint right side, lays it up, slips off the front of the rim, put back up behind her on the tip drill for David on the right side, and she's got 6 points and 4 rebounds now. 56-18, we've got a mercy roll situation here. Hobbs up by 38. At the other end, Johnson coming down the lane, reverse layup right, rolls around the rim and good, and she's pretty much the only offensive threat so far. They got the foul on top of it on the right side of the iron. 9 points now for Johnson. as they're going to call the foul for the Lady Eagles on Kendall Cunningham, her second. That'll be the first team foul here in the third quarter. Chance for that three-point play. And now Coach Carpenter going to bring in 5 subs, the second group for the Lady Eagles. As you'll see, Seiss out there, Armitage, also checking on the court, Bolton, and the guard, Zepeda. And let's not forget about Kason Munoz. Now we've got Johnson with that three-point play opportunity, trying to make double digits for Navajo Prep, and misses off the back of the rim. Rebound on the left block, wide open for that was Bolton. And outlet to the timeline. Armitage gives it across the time to Zepeda, left wing. Return Armitage, top of the circle. A 1-2-1-1 zone. Lost the ball off her foot. It rolls out on the far left sideline, but I think they're going to say last touch by Navajo Prep. Getting a hand on it was Cameron Dale.
Correct. Yeah, looked like it was just bounced off the foot. Went out of bounds, like you said, could not control it.
Inbound Armitage across the timeline. Sends it to the right wing. To Munoz. Down to Armitage, right corner, who came from behind. Bounces the ball off her knee right to the sideline to Coach Seiss. It goes up on his lap there. So that'll be another Lady Eagle turnover, but they only have now 5 in the ball game.
Cassie Jones was part of that, disrupted the play.
Still a mercy rule situation, 36-point lead. Navajo Prep gets it quickly into the front court. Right wing is Jones. Backdoor with a pass to Dale. Fadeaway Jay on the right block. Knocked down by the Lady Eagles Bolton. Outlet to the half-court line. Stop and go for Zepeda. Drives underneath the hoop from the right side of the lane. And they're going to say she stepped on the baseline. Got too far ahead of herself that time for turnover number 6. And Hobbs getting a little bit too much ahead of themselves in the last 2 possessions, Ron, causing some turnovers.
Yeah, sometimes having that much speed can kill you because, she tried to pass it out, but she was already past the line.
Full court trap pressure that's going to be broken by Navajo Prep as dribbling through, zigzagging was Billy, and gets it across the timeline to Jones. Sends it over to left wing to Johnson, spots up a 3, the center no good off the rim, and pulled down by Seiss on the left block. Seiss with her first rebound of the ball game. Goes to Armitage across the timeline, gives it off to the right baseline to Munoz. Over to left wing to Seiss, cross court right to Armitage, touch pass to Munoz in the right corner. Gives it up to Zepeda on the right block. The guard posting up like a center. Kick out left to Seiss. Her 3 shots off the side of the rim, no good. Zepeda with the rebound, little runner over the front of the rim. It comes off the iron, unfortunately. And now it's going to be a rebound once again for Navajo Prep. And that's Johnson sending it down the lane at the other end for the layup and putting it through uncontested for the 2 points, Cameron Dale. And there's the timeout on the court. 3:21 remaining, third quarter. Hobbs still up big, 56-22 over Navajo Prep. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagle Network. .321 left, third quarter, championship game of the Capital Tournament in Santa Fe as your Hobbs Lady Eagles leading over Navajo Prep 56-22. So it's down to a 34-point game, not still at mercy rule like it has been most of this third quarter. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you here in Santa Fe, the capital city of the Zia State. And Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Still a 1-3-1 zone now for Navajo Prep in the half court. Hobbs bring it across, Zepeda with the basketball. Bounce pass is stolen away on the left wing, taken away for Navajo Prep by True Billy, and she tries to throw it up the sideline, gets knocked out on her leg, out of bounds. Another turnover, so turnovers back and forth here. 20 now for Navajo Prep.
Yeah, once again, a bad pass to Billy, was unable to corral it. It was behind her, and it sails out of bounds.
And 7 now, turnovers for the Lady Eagles. Inbound to the backcourt to Hargrove. So try to go one-on-one, and gets it stripped in the backcourt, Dale, but then taking it back is Hargrove, once again trading the turnovers for both squads. Eagles get it back, the pass down to Mojica left corner, fires a high pass up top to Hargrove, over to right baseline to Cunningham, 15-footer off the rim, gets her own rebound, goes back up, double clutch, couldn't get it to drop, gets another rebound, and again gets stripped, and they call the jump ball on that though. That's the 10th rebound for Cunningham, continues to battle underneath that hoop, and that will be an arrow, though, for Navajo Prep.
Another turnover for Hobbs, unfortunately.
Inbound of the paint, coming to True Billy. Gives it back deep behind to Jones. To the half-court stripe to Johnson. Coming down the lane, the center. Wants a reverse layup, right side, and scores. She's the one punch for the offense for Navajo Prep, and now has 11 points. 56-24. 3 at the other end for Mojica's in and out. Bounces the rim a couple times, and Cunningham gets shoved and almost knocked to the floor. Putting a body on her on the right block is Cassidy Jones. And they're going to call the foul. And Cunningham came up limping a little bit, kind of looked to the sideline to Coach Carpenter. Almost looked like she might want to come out on that one. They're going to call the foul on Jones, her first. And that will be the second team foul against Navajo Prep. Inbounding on the right baseline, Mojica checks it back deep, and on the free throw line is Clay. A fade shot coming down the lane, a nice touch, sends it through the hole. Brett Clay back on the scoreboard. She's got 10 points. 58-24. Hobbs up by 34 with 2:15 left, third quarter. Bounce pass to Johnson in the front court, left wing for Navajo Prep. Sends it down to the left corner to Billy. Hippity hop move, fadeaway jumper, semi-hook coming to the free throw line, turn and fired, and gets it to drop. Billy now with 5 points. 58-26, 32-point lead. Weaving through traffic down the lane. Mojica with the reverse layup right side, no good. Tip back up with 2 hands and getting knocked backward is David. That doesn't drop, but you'll get a couple of free throws on the foul. Nice board for Kayla David. They get the foul on Leah Harrison, her first. Third Navajo Prep team foul. And that will be for David, her 5th rebound, a chance for her first free throws here in this ball game.
Yeah, nice rebound. Could pay off for the Hobbs Eagles as that one goes in.
David came into this game 6 of 9 from the charity stripe and gets the first one, as you mentioned. So David is 1 for 1 on the line. 7 points now for Jayla David. Lady Eagles are 8 of 9 from the charity stripe. Only missed 1 so far. David swishes the second, now with 8 points. Hobbs had a ton of players getting that double-digit mark. 60-26, a 34-point lead for Hobbs in the championship. Ball gets deflected, picked up in the front court by Billy, drives to the left wing, puts it back up top to Jones. Will back it up to the timeline. Extended 2-3 zone for Hobbs, double team. Up top of the pass to Ford. Shot from the free throw line off the dribble, no good. Chased down the right wing from Billy. That's her first rebound. Bounce pass back to the timeline to Jones with 1:30 left, third quarter. Hobbs up 60-26. Dribbles to the left wing, slings it to the left elbow to Ford. Ford lost it with a spin move. It's loose in the paint, diving on the floor. Jayla Davis going to dive on top, and it looks like they're going to get the jump ball.
Indeed, and it should be Hobbs if the arrow possession goes that way.
It will be, and also will be a turnover as well for Navajo Prep. They've got 22 of those in this ball game.
And another full substitution coming from Carpenter.
60-26, Armitage on the court, as well as Zapata, Munoz, Bolton, and Seiss. Into the front court, Munoz on the right wing in front of the Hobbs Lady Eagle bench. Gets it back deep to Armitage, swing it left to Zapata. Zapata's going to hold it for a second, trying to move the zone just a bit. Bounce pass up top to Munoz, bobbled it for a second, able to pick it up, come around the right circle. In front of the Hobbs bench again, to Zapata right corner, going to dump it down to Bolton right block. Up top to Seiss, swing it left corner, wide open Armitage, rainbow 3, hits the back of the rim. We got a rebounding foul underneath. Ball didn't drop, but it looks like a push foul and a wide opening mouth coming from McGarry. And they get the call on her. She didn't like that one and showed the referee she was not happy about it. That's her second personal, and that'll be the 4th team foul now. One away from the double bonus for the Lady Eagles as if they need the free throws, up by 34. One free throw would get them back into the mercy roll. Inbounding on the right baseline will be Zapata with 52 seconds left. Bad pass into the Armitage here, and a steal on the way, and now a reach as Armitage tried to get it back and rip the arm of Johnson, who got the steal. The big center is going to do everything for this Navajo Prep team. That'll be the Lady Eagles' 10th turnover, and that will go against Armitage, as I mentioned. That will be her first second team foul. Johnson will get the inbound at the timeline. Will come across to the lefty dribble all the way to the hoop. The scoop off the iron, no good. Long rebound for Armitage, going transition, her third board. 3-on-2, zigzags through the lane, scoop on the right side, and put it off the glass for 2. Armitage taking it to the rack. She's got 5 points. A 26-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Or make it 36. That is mercy roll. Johnson gets stripped in the front court, left perimeter, taken away by Bolton. That's another turnover. They've got 23 now for Navajo Prep. Munoz gets the pass, top of the arc. Over to Seiss left wing, cross court right to Armitage, posting up Bolton on the right block, double team, double clutch, goes up strong, ball comes off the rim, but a foul. Got sandwiched between 2 defenders that time, and Bolton going up big on that play.
Yeah, she definitely did. She was muscling in, couldn't quite get the shot she wanted. However, she did get the fouls that she wanted, and now she's got 2 on the line.
That's against Maureen Ford, her second. But because of the mercy roll, the clock continues to run. That will run out the clock here in the third quarter, but they will get Bolton with 2 free throws. That was the 5th team foul, by the way. First shot is up and good for Bolton. She'll get one more. 63-27 or 6, and misses off the front of the rim on the second one. So the Hobbs Lady Eagles with a 37-point lead at the end of 3, 2 more than what they need for Mercy Roll. The clock will run completely except for timeouts. That's it. Everything else will be a running clock in the fourth. Hobbs trying to get the second championship in a row against this Navajo Prep squad. We'll be back in 30 seconds live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, on the internet, and on the radio at the Eagle 100.5. We're heading to the final quarter of the Capital Tournament Championship in Santa Fe. The Hobbs Lady Eagles leading against Navajo Prep 63-26, a 37-point lead. Mercy Roll in effect going into the fourth quarter. Looking at the scoring, first for Navajo Prep, they get one in double digits. Anaya Johnson, she's got 11 points and 8 rebounds, getting close to a double-double. In fact, she was the second leading scorer here at the tournament for Navajo Prep, averaging 8 points a game. True Billy, normally their big scorer, 15 a game here at the tournament, only has 5, so Hobbs doing a great job, like they shut down that other big scorer of yesterday's game. And for the Lady Eagles, we'll get their scoring in a minute. They're contesting the ball up near the half-court line. Coming across is Johnson. Spin move. Goes to the rack lefty layup and misses off the back of the rim. Bolton gets the rebound for the Lady Eagles. That's her second. Outlet across the timeline. Armitage going through traffic to the right baseline, giving it off to Munoz. Tries a wraparound pass. Lost the ball. She fell to the floor. That'll be the Lady Eagles' turnover. And coming down the lane with it, a pass to Johnson, and does a reverse layup and gets fouled. Johnson's unstoppable in this contest. That's her 13th point, and she'll get a chance for a three-point play. You're going to see who the foul's on. That'll go against the Lady Eagles. Carolina Seiss, her first. The first team foul for the Lady Eagles.
Exactly in that, yeah. Hobbs Lady Eagles have not fouled nearly as much as they have been in the past, and that is one of the good things also why they're winning so big.
Missed free throw off the back of the rim, but a punch out by Seiss will give it back to Navajo Prep underneath the hoop. Your top scores for Lady Eagles, they've got 3 in double figures. Bryn Hargrove, 18, 12 for Nakaya Mojica, 10 for Brett Clay. And the steal on the inbound. Here comes Armitage, another Navajo Prep turnover. She goes back door to Zepeda, gets a double team, spins in the lane, is going to bring it out with the dribble. Now she gets it stolen, and we're going to the other end for Navajo Prep, right side of the paint, spinning herself on the reverse layup and score it. Count it for the guard, True Billy. She's got 7 points. The Hobbs Lady Eagles with their 10th turnover of the ball game. In the front court, right corner, Hobbs up 63-30. And getting knocked to the floor for the Lady Eagles, Munoz got to peel herself off the hardwood as they get a foul call on Cassidy Jones. That's a second pretty heavy-duty foul there by Jones. She got on top of Cunningham on the right block earlier in this half, but we got 1 foul apiece for both teams at this point. 6:21 remaining, and they got the clock stopped now because it's under Mercy Rule again at 33, a point lead for the Lady Eagles. Inbound Armitage on the near sideline, front court, 6:18 remaining. Sails the pass over to left wing. Holding on to it for the Lady Eagles is Zepeda, cross court right to Munoz, return up top to Armitage. Takes a few dribbles left, gets a double team, gets through the traffic, up top to Seiss for a tray, and there we go, right through the threads for Carolina Seiss, the junior. She's got 2 trays to her name and 6 points. 66-30, a new 5 are going to be coming in momentarily. Johnson in the front court on the right wing. Crossover move, taking on Armitage down the lane. Kicks out to the right wing to Billy for 3 off the back of the rim. A flat shot there. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Bolton for her 3rd board. Outlet to the timeline to Zepeda. To the right corner to Seiss. She'll back it out. Send it to Bolton on the right elbow. Back to Seiss right wing. Back door. Munoz waiting for it. And a lefty layup uncontested. Nice ball movement for the Lady Eagles around the perimeter. And then sail it through the lane for the 2. So Munoz with her first bucket. 68-30. Back to a Mercy Roll at 38. In the front court, pass out of the right corner to Ford. So dribble towards the top of the arc. Return it back to the right corner to Jones. Jones to Johnson at the right elbow. Fires up the free throw shot off the back of the iron. No good. Another rebound for Bolton back-to-back as she just pulled down her 4. Outlet near side to Armitage. One hands it to Seiss across the timeline, left wing. To Zepeda on the baseline left. Comes up underneath the hoop. A high raging layup She put the ball up over the left rim before she came completely under the rim and gets the score high on the rainbow layup. Beautiful shot there by Cepeda with ball control in the air, and a timeout for Navajo Prep. They know the clock's running here. They got to talk some strategy. Hobbs with their biggest lead of the game at 40, 70-30 with 4:53 remaining in the fourth. And Ron, talk about some of those sponsors that keep this tournament on the radio and the internet this week.
Absolutely. We always are thankful for the following: Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, Innomar Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. Thank you very much for all that support.
Hobbs 5-1 on the season, the same for their opponent here, Navajo Prep 5-1. Lady Eagles #1 in both the Max Preps and the coaches poll. The first coaches poll came out this week, a couple days ago, before the tournament started. So Hobbs in a pretty good position, Ron. Of course, state champions last year, but this Navajo Prep team has definitely got some success with their playoffs over the last few years. Coach Rainey Chris has over 300 wins, pretty successful in the 3A. Kind of tough to play a big team like the Hobbs Lady Eagles that have success at the big levels.
Yeah, it definitely is. But, I think they learn some things, too. They see things they don't see in other teams. They can they can incorporate those as well and be able to win as well as they did. I think that's the reason possibly why they won last year so big, simply because they played Hobbs. They learned from mistakes. They learned what the Hobbs Eagles were able to do, and they kind of transferred over and took them in on themselves and were able to use them to the right.
Now 26-4 last year, Navajo Prep, 12-0 in district, and they were the #1 seed in their district. Very good team. Tehachapi ended up winning the state championship, though, from their district, the #2 seed out of the district at least. Navajo Prep basketball as we head back to the 4:38 remaining. A long ball gets deflected. It's saved for Navajo Prep by McGarry, but right to Mojica for the Lady Eagles. Sends it ahead to a breaking Brett Clay, and reverse layup on the right side, put it through for 2. Brett Clay back on the scoreboard. She's got 12 points. Another turnover for Navajo Prep with a total of 25. Ball is flattened on the floor. Tried to dive for it. Lost the ball. Picked up for the Lady Eagles by Hargrove, and she's going to lay it up on the right side just like Brett Clay did.
I know, like back-to-back. It seemed like it was deja vu.
Hargrove now with 20 points. She was a team leader last year as well, so how ironic. Back in that same situation again. A lot of problems with passing in the front court again. Boone on the left wing bobbled it. Tries to throw it to the left elbow. McGarry loses it and taken away by Cunningham. Another turnover. That is a total now of 27. Pass to the left elbow for David. Fires up a J. It looked like she got butted right into the stomach that time. It still threw it through the hole. Nice shot in form there for the big post player, Jayla David. She's got 10 points, 76-30, 46-point lead, and we got a foul. Tried to drive around the left perimeter was McGarry. They call the foul on the Lady Eagles. Kendall Cunningham, her third, just the second team foul. Clock is running with 3:25 remaining, and Coach Carpenter goes back to his bench and brings on the second squad. Not much left off once this other team gets in here, too. They're still maintaining the Mercy Rule lead.
Exactly.
Inbound to the top of the arc, Harrison. Bounce pass to the left corner to Eva Poyer, who just checked in for Navajo Prep. Sends it left wing to McGarry. Fires up a 10-footer just coming into the paint on the left side and puts it through with a swish. Her first points of the ball game. Or actually, correction, that was Poyer. She's got 4. In the front court, pass over to left wing. Hobbs up 76-32. Cross court over to Munoz in the right corner. Finds Bolton right block. Kick it to the left corner to Cepeda. Drives the baseline. Scoop pass underneath. The ball deflected off Navajo Prep. I think they're going to say at last touch one of their players. That was Aaliyah Harrison jumping up. No, they're going to say touch Cepeda the second time before it went out of bounds. So Hobbs getting a turnover on that one. That's 11 on the game for Hobbs. Clock to 2:30 remaining. Spin move in the front backcourt. Boone throws it across and taken away by Bolton. Another turnover. 28 in the game. Bolton goes down the lane, throws up a shot, misses, gets her own rebound, and back up on the left side is fouled going up, comes off the iron, but she'll get 2 free throws. So Bolton has a chance for throws. She's 1 of 2 from the line, does have 1 point. Foul going to be called against Harmony Boone, her first, and the second team foul against Navajo Prep. 3 dribbles there for Bolton, shots up, a little bit short off the hard rim there. She'll get 1 more.
Make that adjustment, get a little harder in there and maybe hit the back of the rim or just hit the cylinder.
Funny to see that clock running. That's a new rule this year. Even runs through 1 or 2 shot fouls. Actually, there's no 1-shot fouls unless it was a made basket. Second one good for Bolton. She's got 2 points. 77-32, 45-point lead with 31:37 remaining. Bounce pass to the right corner, front court for Dale. Sends it back on the right wing to Boyer. Boyer's pass up top is deflected. Nice job to get in there by Munoz. And then Bolton steals it away on the near sideline. Another Navajo Prep turnover. Coming down the lane is Bolton. Comes over the right side of the rim and lays it in for 2.
Crisscross on that one, got around her defender and was able to lay it in.
4 points for Bolton. Bounce pass in the front court, top of the circle to Harrison. It looks like Munoz is getting a little bit too aggressive, slapping at the arms that time. So I'll call a foul on Kaitlin Munoz, her first, third team foul. And Coach Chris is going to go back to the bench and bring in Cambria Dene. Dene averaging 4.5 points at this tournament, but having some issues in this game. Pass to the left baseline to Cameron Dale. Off her fingertips, out of bounds, and the turnovers start to mount. 30 turnovers now for Navajo Prep.
Yeah, Dale had a nice pass, could not catch it, and sailed out of bounds once again.
Lady Eagles up 79-32, 47-point lead. Here comes Zepeda down the lane, 1-2, lost the ball going through 2 defenders, and then stolen back by Munoz. She tries a scoop shot through 2 defenders in the paint right side and gets fouled. So exchanging turnovers for both the Lady Eagles and Navajo Prep. 12 for Hobbs and 31 for Navajo Prep, but that's going to put Munoz on the line.
Exactly, and once again, we're going to see if their free throws have improved since we last saw them.
That's her first attempt of the ball game and makes it. She's got 3 points all coming here in the fourth quarter. That was the third team foul against Navajo Prep as they called that one against Harrison, her second. One more shot for Munoz.
Last shot, in fact.
Is a swish as well. Got them both. She's got 4 points, and that runs out the clock here at the championship game. 81-32, back-to-back champs, your Hobbs Lady Eagles, as they put this one in the books, as ended up winning big time here for the third game of Mercy Rule fashion. So Hobbs will take home the trophy back to Lee County, New Mexico, beat the same team they did last year. Of course, last year's score was 65-28. They won by 38 points. And this one is 49, so more point plus here than we saw in this tournament in all 3 games. This complete domination for the Lady Eagles. Defense leading to the offense on the transition game, and lots of turnovers for their opponents. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Lady Eagle postgame show, the champions of the Capital Tournament here in Santa Fe. We'll come back with you. Stay with us. Can you get the MVPs? All tournament.
Two minutes.
Welcome back to Santa Fe. Ty Brent, Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. The girls state champ, or I was going to say state championship, we'll take that too, but the Lady Eagles winning the tournament championship, Capitol High tourney in the state capitol. Big win in this one, 81-32. We got Coach Joey Carpenter up here. And Coach, domination once again in this tournament. Mercy rule victory through much of that second half. They came back and got underneath 35 a few times, but still big win for you. And this is a game that you had more three-pointers. You only had 2 in the semifinal game, but this one you get 8. Did you see anything different out there to open that up for you?
Yeah, I think that they were pressuring us, and we were able to get by them. And then when the help side would come, then we were able to kick it out to shooters. And you know, if they're wide open, I don't mind them taking them.
It's kind of coincidental, too. Last year, Brent Hargrove was your top scorer with 17 in that championship game. This year, she's back up again. Not the same numbers, but 20 to lead your team.
Sure. I mean, she's capable of that. You know, she was a district MVP last year. She's capable of scoring. She's capable of distributing. You know, she just gotta keep herself motivated to keep getting better every day.
Coach, another good free throw shooting game for your Lady Eagles, 13 of 16, 81%. And you came into this game tonight at, I believe it was 85% on the 2 games you played previously. That's pretty good numbers. And you mentioned Coach Reeves last night, but those strokes are working for you. And you didn't really need all those free throws, but still it helped out the cause.
Yeah, I mean, we shoot a lot of free throws when we're tired so we can emulate game situations. And if not, they're going to run again. So guess what? They've gotten pretty good at shooting them.
Coach, we talked about yesterday, they had a girl that was really scoring a lot for them. You guys shut her down, I think, 4 some points yesterday. In this game, the same situation happened. That Billy girl averaged 15 games in the 2 games they played previously, the first and second rounds. And she came into this contest, really didn't do much, 7 points, so half of the averages she had against her first 2 opponents.
Yeah, I mean, it's just our defense. We swarm at people. We try to make them make mistakes. And sometimes we intimidate them. And I think she's a young kid. And that's just the bottom line. She's going to be really good in the next year or 2.
I know their big girl, Johnson, really came out strong and had close to a double-double tonight, 13 points and 8 rebounds. And you got a lot of bigger size players this year that battle for you underneath as well.
Yeah, Naya from the other team, she played well against us last year at this time. And then again this year. But they have to use her to help bring down the ball, and so it wears her out, and that's why she misses a lot of shots. And where we're able to keep our posts fresh and keep rotating them in and out and take full advantage of their tiredness.
And she does remind me a lot about Jayla David. They seem to be some of the same type of physiques out there. It's almost like carbon copies on different teams. So.
Yeah, they both do about the same similar stuff for each team, you know. And when I saw the jump ball, I thought, man, that's a mirror image of each other almost, because they're both really athletic.
Coach, turnover situation the same as it's been the whole tournament. I think they were averaging 35 in the first 2 games, 31 tonight. What did you get away from the opponents? You guys only have 12, but again, seems like the minute you get the ball, it's transition for the offensive layup.
Yeah, we try to rack it. If you ever hear me yelling rack it, that means take it to the hole and try to create something for someone else or get a layup. So one or the other, that's what's getting ready to happen. So that's what we try to do, keep pressure on the defense.
Coach, your platoon subbing is something you got to use a little bit this tournament due to the scoring differentials there. I didn't see much of a drop-off tonight in terms of the second group coming out and giving you what you wanted to see out there.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. You know, we had some bad turnovers and a few mistakes, but you can erase a lot of that by a lot of their effort. The effort was there, and as long as the effort's there, I can take mistakes.
I'll tell you, I think one of the best 6 men that I've seen out there, Armitage, really coming out strong for us. In fact, she was double digits, I believe, 1 or 2 of the games prior. Not as much scoring tonight, but still the tenacious defense that she brings off the bench for you.
Yeah, she's our how do you say this? Our firecracker. She gets us going. You know, she started as a freshman in a state championship game. You know that, and
right.
So she's got some experience under her, and I just love playing her off the bench because she just brings a whole different dimension that other teams don't have.
Coach, of course, your Lady Eagles go 3-0 here, 6-1 now overall. You know, they only lost to Lubbock Monterey, which is no games under your belt at that point, and it was a road trip on top of that, so that doesn't help out the cause at all. But still, where do you go from here? This is probably not the tournament you'll be booking for next year, possibly. We talked about that yesterday, possible El Paso, whatever else might fall into the mix. But where do we go from here in the pre-district schedule for the Lady Eagles?
Yeah, I think we play on the 19th. I think Centennial or somebody. I can't remember. I really don't look ahead too often, but I know the next game is on the 19th, so that's 10 days off. We got to fine-tune some things. There's some things that we saw that we need to get better at in this tournament. So we're going to try to get better so we can, not have as many weaknesses.
Well, tell us what one might be. Give us one thing.
Well, they were able to throw the ball in the middle of the press. So we weren't pinching middle enough. We got lazy and liked to stand out there and just kind of play phantom defense. If you notice, their posts went and flashed to middle, and they got the ball down the floor quite a few times on us. And I just don't like the way we didn't communicate and we didn't play that.
Well, Coach, back-to-back championships here at the tournament. Maybe the last time. We'll see what happens next year, but I'm sure you're going home pretty happy. A 5-hour road trip, and you're back home in Hobbs.
Yeah, thank you, Ty, and I appreciate you guys covering us, and there's a lot of people listening back home. So, hey, those of you that couldn't make it, I appreciate you guys supporting us and listening to Ty, because they do a great job, and Noel Mark's awesome, and I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach. So Coach Joey Carpenter coming up with an 81-32 win in this one tonight as the Capital Tournament champion 2 years in a row and against the same team, Navajo Prep. We'll take a quick 2-minute break and continue on with the post-game show here as your Hobbs 8 Eagles champs. Let's make it 1 minute and we'll be back live with the Hobbs 8 Eagles post-game show on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube and on the radio at the Eagle 100.5. Back here at the Lady Eagles post-game show in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The Capital High School actually too, as the Hobbs 8 Eagles winning 81-32 in the championship game for the second year in a row over Navajo Prep. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you, and of course Tiffany Stewart back to the station. They also announced the all-tournament team, Ron.
They did, and it was Kendall Cunningham and Britt Clay. We were surprised about that, but they were great plays. The MVP, of course, that was Hargrove. That was, of course, she did so much good things. Bryn Hargrove, 20 points on the court for the game today. So yeah, she was outstanding, lights out, awesome performer as always, and she was honored with the team.
Yeah, she was the leading scorer in the championship last year as well, at 17 in that game, 20 in this contest. But great finish for her. And, of course, she also converted on 3 3-pointers in the game. We'll get the other scoring in just a minute. But first, let's get Navajo Prep's numbers. 1 in double digits. We mentioned her already, Anaya Johnson, 13 points and 8 rebounds. She was the only player on this squad for Navajo Prep that shot free throws in the game. She was 0 for 3, 0% for the team overall for Navajo Prep. So definitely did not help them climb back into this game. True Billy, who was averaging 15 in the prior games in the tournament, she only had 7 in this one, including a tray. Cameron Dale finished with 4 points, 4 for Eva Poyer, and 2 apiece for Jones and Ford. They did finish up in the game with 17 rebounds, but the big problem for them, the juggernaut, was 31 turnovers. But 2 other teams had the same issue against the Lady Eagles' tenacious defense.
Yeah, there was nobody could answer. In fact, the only thing that you can say about this Navajo Prep Ladies Eagles is the fact that they got double digits in the third quarter. They scored 10 points. They had it broken. That broke the single digits on the quarters that were allowed by the Lady Eagles. So they did that one time, but still, they tried their best. They really did. They just weren't able to get those passes crisp and clean as they wanted to. Just a lot of things weren't working fundamentally for them, and that definitely led to their downfall.
I should also mention, too, Navajo Prep only ended up with a couple of three-pointers in this ball game. That first game that they won against Penasco in the first round of this tournament, they had 9 three-pointers in that game, so Hobbs really shut that down in the championship. Let's look at the Lady Eagles numbers as they finished with 4 in double figures. We mentioned Bryn Hargrove. She had 20 points, 3 three-pointers, and was 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Also in double digits, Brett Clay with 12 points. Perfect on the charity stripe, 4 for 4. In fact, those were her first free throws of the tournament and definitely ended up with her double-digit scoring. Nakaya Mojica finished with 12 points. She hit a couple of trays for the Lady Eagles. And Jayla David finished with 10 points, 2 for 2 on the line, and had 5 rebounds. So, again, 4 players in double digits, a major taking care of business with this game, and Mercy rolled us like we saw in the other 2 games prior to this one. Other scores for Hobbs, 6 for Carolina Size. She had 2 trays for Hobbs coming off the bench, the junior shooter, and also the assistant coach's daughter as well. Eliana Armitage finished with 5 points, including a tray, had 3 rebounds for the Lady Eagles. Kendall Cunningham, the starter, was 6 points, 10 rebounds, and was 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Also scoring, Kayslyn Munoz off the bench for 4 points, 2 for 2 free throw shooting. Elena Bolton had 4 points. She was 2 for 4 from the line, and some big rebounds underneath with a total of 4. Matson Zepeda, the guard, had 2 points and also 2 rebounds. So lots of people getting involved in this game in terms of the scoring. 10 players get in the books for the Lady Eagles in this one. Another good game for free throw shooting, 13 of 16 for 81%. They had 12 turnovers and 31 for their opponents, so 19 less than Navajo Prep in this contest. Hobbs with 8 three-pointers, just 2 for Navajo Prep. So those are the numbers in this ball game. The Lady Eagles also out-rebounded Navajo Prep 30-17. A great way to finish the tournament run. All 3 games W's, all 3 games Mercy rolls, and the final again 81-32. Second time in a row against Navajo Prep in the championship.
Exactly, and that's exactly what Coach Carpenter wanted to do, have the team bond. I think they already are, but yeah, this pretty much cinches it as they get deeper in the season. You're going to see more and more confidence as far as the knowing what each other is going to be doing. Plus, like we said, always, we're not going to harp on it, but we're going to say this again. It looks like they're seniors, but they're not. They're juniors, sophomores, and even younger, and they look like they're clicking on all cylinders early in the season. You always want to do that. In fact, yeah, the Hobbs Eagles, the boys, could take a page off the girls on this one and learn that, you know, they don't rely on just one person. Yeah, one person got 120 points, but the team, it was a team effort. You always like to see that, and they definitely are working hook, line, and sinker as a team.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, too, making sure these games got on the radio, got on the internet, and will continue throughout the season. Ron, who are those companies that are helping us out?
That would be Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, NMR Pipeline, and, of course, First American Bank of Hobbs. We thank every single one of you. Without you guys, we would not be here in the capital city being able to bring this broadcast to you.
And talking about the upcoming schedule for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, we'll continue with coverage, of course, after they win this Navajo Prep Championship game. They will be on the 19th as they will be against Centennial. And is that a home game or is that a away game?
That is, they're both home games.
So they'll be amazing. They'll be against Centennial. That is the 19th. That will be at 7 o'clock start at Tasker Arena. And then is that the Hobbs boys?
No, this is the girls.
Yeah, that was the girls, the 19th. Also the 22nd against Alamogordo. And then after that, it's the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. So lots of good action coming up for the Lady Eagles to see if anybody can really test them and to see what they've got when it comes to the schedule before the holiday tournament. The Hobbs boys, of course, will have them on the radio and the internet too. And, of course, we're going to bring them throughout the rest of the season, as we always do, to make sure the best action gets on all those media platforms for you. Their next game is coming up, and that will be
Tuesday.
Yeah, that'll be Tuesday against Lubbock Trinity on the road, and that will be a 5:45 pregame show, tip-off at 6 o'clock. That is our time, 7 o'clock for Texas time.
And the memory fogs because I could have sworn we played them like a year or two, but it's actually been about 4 years ago since we played them last. They stomped the Hobbs Eagles then, but of course that's another road game for the Hobbs Eagles. They can learn on that one as well. I think this one's me a little bit of a different turnaround because the Hobbs Eagles have been playing a little bit better than they were that time around. and they definitely have something to prove as they go to Lubbock and take on the Trinity team.
Yeah, also a week off before they play that game, so they'll have practices and things to do to get ready for that contest. We'll have that game on our sister station. That's Cool 95.7. Again, Tuesday night at 5:45 from Lubbock as the Hobbs boys take on Trinity. Once again, final score here tonight. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles victorious in the championship of the Capital Tournament in Santa Fe, 81-32 over Navajo Prep. They are now 6-1 on the season. Congratulations to Coach Carpenter and his squad. For Ron Gunner, back with Tiffany Stuber at the station, myself, Ty Friend, thanks for joining us for Thursday through Saturday basketball here at the Capital Tournament, and have a great rest of a weekend out there.